Warriors' dream start to the NBA season continues. They're 19-0 now after a hard-fought 106-103 victory on the road over the Utah Jazz. The Jazz may have lost the game, however, by slowing down the tempo, utilizing their size, strength, and elite defensive capabilities, along with trying to keep the ball out of Steph Curry's hands, did they, Benyam, provide a game plan that can allow other teams to follow and try and stop this Golden State Warriors juggernaut?
Well, Zach Harper over at CBS Sports wrote a very interesting piece on this today, and it does seem as though the Jazz are definitely the team that has worried the Golden State Warriors the most to date this season. They took them very much down to the wire. They had the lead in this game within the last 2 minutes. And as you said, it was very much the size of this team that troubled the Warriors the most. Rudy Gobert at 7'1", Derek Favors at 6'10", and then also Gordon Hayward at 6'8", really closed down a lot of the space that the Warriors like to utilize, and maybe just showed the rest of the NBA that there is a way, maybe not necessarily to beat the Warriors, but a good way to get under their skin. And look, they got as close as anyone has so far this season. What did you like about the way the Jazz went about things today?
I really liked what they did on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, by slowing the tempo down, playing in the half court, they didn't over-rotate on guys. They really got up in everyone's space, made sure that there was absolutely no space for anyone to really create anything, plus getting the ball out of Steph Curry's hands, making it meeting Steph Curry outside of the perimeter so that he wasn't able to get an early shot off and had to sort of pass the ball off. And then with Draymond Green really not giving him any space as well to either drive or to kick it down to someone on the post. So that was really, for me, what I really enjoyed seeing out of them there. What about with this team? Harrison Barnes obviously missing right now. He's so integral to this team going small ball. Was that something that really affected the Warriors today?
I think so. I mean, they still went with smaller lineups for big stretches in this game, but that's the devastating lineup is the Harrison Barnes lineup, which we didn't get to see, obviously, with him injured. But I think that the Warriors, at least, their game plan is to try and counteract whatever other teams go with, whether they go big or small. They're going to make you play to their style. But the fact that the Jazz very much didn't crumble under that and try and go small and run with the Warriors, because that's oftentimes when the Warriors do beat you. I like that they stuck to their guns. They played to their strength. And I think a lot of teams will take a lot of positives out of that, especially in the fact that the Jazz, they tried to make other players beat them. It wasn't going to be Steph Curry. They tried to make the Draymond Greens, the Klay Thompsons, and the other guys try and get those shots off. And to the Warriors' credit, those guys did stand up. They had a very solid contribution from most guys out on the floor today. It might not be like that every single night, though. You might have a bad shooting night from a Klay Thompson. You could have a poor night from a Draymond Green. So other teams, I think, will look at that and the way that they trapped Curry and take a lot of confidence out of that moving into the next games, or whoever does end up breaking the streak. But it was interesting to see that despite all the things that the Jazz did right, Curry scored 16 points through the first three quarters and then had 10 of his 26 in the final 6 minutes of this game. So whether you like it or not, no matter what you do, Steph Curry was still able to get those shots off, get in the right spots, and ultimately be the difference between these two teams.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to play 48 minutes of basketball right now if you want to beat the Golden State Warriors. And it was really down the stretch there where the Warriors took over this game and were able to make sure that they were able to have this perfect streak continue.
And now for the Golden State Warriors, they look ahead to what's next. And I mean, they're up to 23 consecutive wins now, 19-0 on the season. They're 14 wins away from matching the Lakers' record of 33 consecutive victories in a single NBA season. Are we still confident they can get there?
Mate, I'm starting to think that I'm confident that they'll get there. I'm starting to see if they can get over Mayweather's record.
49-0.
Exactly. I think that's what they should be aiming for right now.
Well, if we look at the rest of the Golden State Warriors schedule and we want to look at big teams that can perhaps replicate what the Jazz did, they've got the Hornets, then the Raptors, the Nets, and the Pacers. Can any of those teams in any way match a similar style of play to what the Jazz put on show today?
I think they all can. I mean, especially the Raptors. We saw the Nets really have get quite close to beating them earlier on this year. I don't know if we'll see that from them again, but there's runs on the board that the Nets can trouble this team, which is kind of weird to think. So I think there's going to be a really tough road trip that they're going on right now, and now comes to the time of the season, and Matt Moore spoke about this, that the Warriors are going to start resting guys, are going to start to play around with their rotation a little bit more, even though they do have this record record. One eye on that. They've also got another eye on a more important prize for them, and that's winning back-to-back championships.
And worst case scenario, they do play the Jazz on the 24th of December. So there could be a little Christmas Eve Grinch surprise in store for them. We'll have to wait and see.
But I think that's all we got time for today in this video.
As always, guys, keep up with the show on Twitter, at Tiare Reid and at Benyam Kadane, using the hashtag BTHype, and over at BTHypeNBA, at the Facebook page as well, facebook.com/BelieveTheHypeNBA, and over at the site BelieveTheHypeNBA.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back.